Hello, dear Coach Magazine Global audience. Welcome to our another 5 o'clock tea talk. We are here with Coach Hulya Kurt today, and I would like to introduce her first. She is the CEO of her own coaching company, InnKick. She is the EVP for International Audit and incoming president. She is empowering professionals in midlife crisis, guiding young people, helping parents understand their kids, be thyself, career and family coach, mentor, speaker, facilitator, leadership author, best life coach award holder. Hello, dear Julia. I'm very pleased to have you here today. Thank you for accepting my invitation. How are you?
I'm very well. Thanks for inviting me, dear Seda. I'm really excited to be part of this 5 o'clock tea talk.
So many topics we can talk about, so much expertise you have. You were at the Women International Inspiring Women Worldwide Conference in the United Nations yesterday, and in the OIT, Organization of Women in International Trade Conference in the United States last week. I would like to start with that. Would you please tell us about your takeaways from these events? What was it like?
Well, honestly, last week it was our, again, Organization Women International Trade International Executive Board and retreat that we do every year. And for that, it was more about strategy, updates, and how we shall actually go forward with the organization because we are growing. We have more than 25 chapters and we are in the stream of growing even more. Collaborations, partnership with WTO, ITC, and what is our mission? To empower and foster women in business and in trade, being the enablers, the gate openers for the women to really trade, export, import, knowing what are the regulations, what certifications they need, capacity building workshops. So we really work closely with international organizations as well as local audiences in the countries, and that was really empowering. And we did not only did that, we did also embassy visits. So I went to our wonderful permanent mission in Washington, Turkish mission. So I had a wonderful conversation. We talked about how we can empower women in Turkey, because I know in Turkey we've got so many women who do handicraft stuff, like oil, like carpets, like wonderful textiles. So how can we import, export that? We went to Vital Voices Global Summit, which is Vital Voices has been created and founded by Hillary Clinton, really to give the women who are underrepresented a voice. Specifically, for example, women in crisis. That might be the women in Ukraine, Iran, and we know what's going on all over the place. And also we did a lots of, fun, dancing, but also lots of collaboration and networking. So that was the piece, that was our big takeaway all the time. And action points, because you go to a conference, you come back again with lots of, homework. So it's on my list what I need to do. So that's interesting. And the Women International Network yesterday was pioneering harmony. And we had many different speakers, honestly, and that was really interesting because we had the the opening was done by the chairwoman, Natalia of the United Nations, which was great. And then we had many other guest speakers. We took away lots of stuff about how kind leadership should be, how vulnerable we should be, about about artists who gave us the creative mind, right? About takeaways of trust and hope and what does this mean? How to overcome challenges, also hope, what programs are running. So it was a huge event yesterday with again so much networking, facilitated ones, non-facilitated ones. So there is a lot of key takeaways there, and one of them I would really say is with small. What is success? Success is actually small steps of efforts repeatedly. And that's what success is about. So that was one motto that I would like to give you away to take away for everyone else.
That's wonderful. So, linked to what you just told us, please tell more about the importance of networking, please.
The importance of networking. Without that, we are not going to function. It's really going to the back ancient times. With whom do we do business? With humans. If I have got a problem with my tooth, what do? I go to my best friend and ask, "Do you know a dentist?" And she would maybe recommend someone. And I'm trusting her. That's why I'm going to go to that dentist. The same here. People do business with people. That's why we need to know each other. If we don't trust each other, no one trusts anyone coming from nowhere. So that's why networking is important. Networking is business. Networking is the unspoken number one rule of success. And to meet people, connect, talk, introduce yourself gives you credibility, visibility. You hear something, you share something, you learn something, and you share your own views, etc. So, networking is imperative.
Yes, it is. And for that, do you think people should be an outgoing person to have this kind of connections, or in going people also can create this kind of networking?
Well, extrovert, introvert, yes. I mean, some people are more inside, some more outspoken. That's fine. We don't want you to completely change your all authenticity, but introvert people can also do network. It's just you don't network with everyone. You spot only one person in the meeting room who's also alone, is also looking for someone to talk because he's also human, he or she. And you can approach that person only and have a chit chat. It's actually basic, simple. How are you? What brought you to this event today? Ah, what about the speaker? What do you think about the topic? You don't need to have rocket science. You don't need to have been, overcomplicating things. And for introverts, they can also do written networking, offline networking, virtual one over LinkedIn. If they're interested to work for a company, look it up from LinkedIn, find HR or talent, say, "Hi, I'm really interested in your company. I think what you're doing is really great. I would love to stay connected." That's all what you need to say. And if it's a rejection or no response, you don't take it personal. Why? Because they don't know you. So why should you take it personal? We take it personal when people knowing us. And for that, you don't need that. So introvert and extrovert can do equally do networking.
Yeah, and like before the COVID, we mostly come together in one room, face to face meetings. After the COVID, everything is virtual in Zoom, in different kind of places, and probably it's a paradise for introvert person people. You know, you don't have to go out of your house. You
That's
can
correct.
connect to
It's like,
people.
I don't need to do anything. I'm fine.
So your other area is career advancement,
Yeah.
and be the CEO of your career is your motto. So what methods do you use to motivate and inspire your clients? Maybe you can tell us about a success story of a client that you helped in her or his career advancement.
Well, a good question. Yeah. What I believe definitely that you are the one who's behind the steering wheel of your career. No one else, not the manager. You yourself are responsible of that. And hence, I have created the Drive and Thrive workbook, my accredited signature flagship product, which is really starting from knowing yourself, the values, the strength, your mission, your brand statement, then looking at your success stories, when you felt the happiest, what you were doing there, how can you transfer that into the real world, how to promote yourself in a guilt free way, and then looking at your network, who you can leverage and create your board of directors because you are the CEO of your career, and a CEO does not work alone. So that's the program that I normally follow. However, I also deviate because each person is unique. So we might have different, requirements. And one of the real great success stories is just recently a wonderful lady reached out from UK to me and also very capable. She's Turkish And she came from Turkey to UK, beautiful, very successful in the banking financial industry. But then after a while, I mean, you know how it is, you have a kid and then you a bit busy. But in the company she was working for, she was not really really happy. So she reached out to me, and we were looking first what she's interested in, what are her values, what would she like to do, when did she feel the happiest, what was she doing, with whom was she, what feelings, emotions came out there. So we started to craft one by one. In the meantime, we took little actions, how she can reach out maybe to someone else, how she can do this, a bit of networking. And it's not me who created the path, huh? She did it on her own. I was just asking questions and directing a bit, like mentor and coaching together. And ultimately, she got several interviews, different opportunities, and now she has been accepted to a mega major bank as a director.
That is a quite successful story.
It is, it is. It's not only one. I've got many. I've got testimonials as well. I mean, the other one is something else from the international world. I was mentoring and coaching one person in Malaysia, a wonderful young lady, WHO, beautiful, and she wanted to really get out. She wanted to move. She wanted to go up. Actually, we started first differently. First, we started, I want to have more self confidence when I'm speaking from in my team, because all her team members were more mature as her. She was young.
Mhm.
So we started to work on that. Then she started to do some programs, PMP, project management, and then we deviated to fine tune her pitch, looking at her CV. Then she applied and she wanted to go abroad. She applied for WHO as well, I guess, in Switzerland, Geneva. She got
Mhm.
the job and she moved with the family to WHO.
Wow, it's quite very successful story. Another successful story. It's good. It's good to hear that how wonderful coaching tools working with every time you use them, right?
Yeah, it's amazing. It's like a magic wand, really, honestly. And you know what? This is our profession, to be able to show you the blind spots. Every treasure resides in the heart of each unique person. We know that, but to dig them out, it's our profession. It's our secret sauce that we enable the people. I feel like I'm an enabler, yeah, enabler to empower people, humans, to find their truth worth.
It is indeed, really. Today, I would like to ask out of curiosity some deep questions since you are a coach also. Today is one of my friends, Victoria Merkel's brother Andres Alexander's birthday, who passed away last year. And last Friday was another friend, Solange Moret's brother, Olivier Moret's birthday, also passed away a few months ago. And
Oh,
I know you lost your husband a few years ago, and these were their birthdays. Like yeah, last Friday and today, they were having their birthdays without them. So, how one can cope up with this kind of grief? What coaching tools do you use?
well, coping with grief is something else, right? I mean, coaching, mentoring, you can give each advice that you want. At the end of the day, the pain is here and it will not go away. But we cope to live with this, to honor. And the best thing that I can give as an advice is being grateful. Being grateful for the years you spent with this person. Being grateful that you have done that you went to the dinner with him the last time, remembering the wonderful precious times that you spent with that human, and honoring him, honoring that person, because we know everyone will die. I will die as well. I don't know when. And thanks God I don't know when. Because until that time, I will be doing all what's in my power and circle of influence to help and support all humans to become what they want to become. And I think that's the best thing that I can say, being grateful. Although you can be angry and going into depression, it doesn't help. This person will not be at life even if you put yourself under depression. There is always something, and finding a purpose, the purpose in life. For me, of course, it's my son first and foremost. You've got a family as well. Think about that they need you. Think about that you need to be good. You can cry, show emotions. I did that a lot. Crying, I don't know, shouting, whatever is good for you. Because that's emotions we need to live. We can't have it always here. It doesn't work. Right? But also have a purpose and honor the person, and that is about being grateful. That's all I can say because it's not going to go away. I spent 32 years with my husband, a lifelong. And thanks God I did not postpone any kind of travels, dinners, whatever. We lived our life to the utmost fullest. So that's what we the thing, and that doesn't mean that you need to go abroad or be rich or whatever. The utmost fullest is the following: that you spend time with that person, and if that means to take a Turkish coffee on the balcony and just look at the birds together, that's fine. That's beautiful. This is how you share.
Yes. Yeah, thank you so much for this insightful answer. We needed this, especially after the earthquake in Turkey. So many people lost so many loved ones, and still, grief going on, a huge one. And some of them doesn't know, how to cope up with this kind of huge grief, huge loss. So thank you for that. As a family coach, also you're dealing with the parents who work with their children. Would you like to give us some examples about that?
Yeah, I mean, you know what? Yeah, I did that as well. Yeah, because I wanted to help parents because it's not about the kids. The kids are not wrong. It's the parents where it starts. It's the parents where it starts. That's it. That's why I created the Parents Academy on my website, a full 3 module thing. And what does it start with? To know yourself. Be aware of yourself first. Specifically when the kids start to grow up, parents lose everything because they still think that these are little babies and can't think. Well, after 12, after even 10, they start to think and they're influenced by social media and by their friends, etc. You need to change your communication style if you want to have a good relationship. That's one thing. If you don't want a good relationship, okay, whatever. But if you want to have a good relationship, if you want to support the kid, if you want to know what he or she is doing or they doing, we've got this binary, non-binary, now attributes, then you need to be open. And that means it starts with you first to see and analyze how do I communicate with my children? Do I accuse them? Because we've got biases as parents. We always think, oh man, you're always lazy, you're always lazy, you are always dirty, you are always stupid, you can't think. That is labeling a kid. And you know what? It has got an impact on the brain, on the mood, on the feeling. And that is not good because it goes down to self-esteem, where the kid does not feel good anymore. Doesn't mean you cannot say anything. Of course you can, but it's not about what you say, it's about how you say it. And that makes an impact. And listening, don't talk. You don't need to talk. Let the kid talk. Ask open questions when they come from home. Ask them, oh, how was your day today? Good. Oh, what was so good about? Don't take that as an answer. What was so good about? And then the kid said, oh, I need to ask, oh, now I need to say something. And then a little short answer. Okay. And then you drill a bit more. You don't do any comments. You don't do any judgments. You're just curious. What do they do on, what do they follow on Instagram? Check out, say, oh, let me, can I see what is that on TikTok? Oh, that sounds interesting. Oh, that looks dangerous. What do you think about this? Know what they're following, whom they're following. Children are more so exposed to risks, to kind of social media harassments, and you don't know what. You need to know what's going on a bit. You need to have a helicopter view. You are there, and the children should know that whatever, even if, excuse me the expression, but even if if shit hits the fan, they know they can come back to you and don't go anywhere else where they're going to be, I don't know, abused. I don't know. There's so much going on.
Yeah.
You are the safe harbor. To be the safe harbor, you need to be, as parents, non judgmental. Catch yourself when you're judgmental, immediately reverse it. Open questions, be curious what's going on, listen. Listen, I know how it is. We're all busy. Yeah. You come home and you need to cook and whatever you need to do, and the kid starts to talk. Oh, shut up. Can't hear you about that. No, let them talk. Get the bloody soup to be cooked 30 minutes later. But it's precious to sit down with a kid, eye to eye, and say, "Oh, tell me more. What happened? Hmm. So, what is the reason you think that your friend, said that to you? How did you feel about this? You know, this is what we need to know. The parents needs to have the basic coaching skills now at the moment. Otherwise, you know what? The kids are flying out of the nest, and you need to support them.
Yeah.
God, that's what we want.
To be open with them at first, as you said, the parents should work with themselves to know their, lows and ups. It's is what are their traumas in their childhood, what from which action they are taking this and that, so that they can connect truly and with heart wholeheartedly with their children. Are you also working with the attachment styles?
Attachment styles, I did not specifically work with them, but maybe that's something that you do, Seda. That would be interesting to hear from you.
Yes, I do. I like to make my coaches to understand their own attachment styles first. The safe attachment style, anxious attachment style, and what was the third one? I don't remember. I can't remember the English of it. Yeah, but it is very important to know about your attachment styles, because as a parent, you implement those things to your communication with your children, and they copy you from your style and they implement to themselves. Whatever the attachment style you have, they copy it and they be as that, and when they grow up. So it is very important to know thyself, exactly as you said in your LinkedIn account too. And my last question about how do you help young people navigate their career paths? You also are a young people's coach and mentor, or is it only career paths or in general?
Well, I work very much with the universities here in Switzerland, private universities. I do lots of workshops for EU Business Group, Graduate Institute, Swiss Business Management School. And I want to bridge the gap between academia and the real professional world. And there, what I am concentrating and focusing on is human skills, even not soft skills, human skills. What is that? This is about how to represent yourself, how to do networking correctly, how to use LinkedIn in your power to find a job, how to shape your CV that is powerful, how to do your nurturing your network already when you study, where to go, webinars, meetings, taking on extra projects, being as an intern, see and observe what's going on, having mentors who are in the field that you want to work, for example. I give them all these advices, but not only that, also about how to communicate, how to have this difficult conversation, how to ask for help, because now at the moment, as I see the young generation, they are even not asking for help. Why? Because we've got Google, right? We've got YouTube. We can do anything we want. We ask this wonderful AI to give us all the answers. That's why we are not used anymore to ask questions to humans, which is much more important. Why? Because AI, YouTube, blah, blah, has got some certain experiences, but not all. And the experience comes within other people. So we need to really teach and let the young generation know how to ask questions, have difficult conversations, ask for feedback, how to receive feedback. Nowadays, if you give feedback, and I call it not feedback, I call it feed forward. You a data where you can one step forward, you can improve yourself. That's what the young generation don't understand. They're like, oh, critic, oh my God, take it personal. Oh, the whole world is under. No, this this is data which is so precious. Take it, absorb it, think about it, reflect, change. That's how you grow. If you don't do any mistakes, you will not grow. And these mistakes that you do, and I don't want to say mistakes or fails, but I want to say a try which was not successful happens all the time happens. I mean, we're not supposed to know everything, and we are not perfect at all. We are humans. So if you do that, take it for granted. Say, okay, I hear what you're saying. Interesting. And next time you change. So there is a lot which is on the human skills, which is for us was normal, that we need to give as a toolkit to our young professionals so they can pave their career advancements. And again, here I tell all the you start from zero. You can't be the CEO of the company or the manager director with 1 year of experience. That doesn't work, my dear. Be realistic. Put smart goals, smart. We know that specific, measurable, action, relatable or realistic, whatever, and time bound for yourself. Create your little tight goals, little by little, and you will advance. And don't whatever you got as a job, always think about, once you know what's going on, what else can I do, where else can I grow, raise your hand for anything that you don't know. It doesn't matter, you don't need to know everything. Get into projects, get into extracurriculum activities, and that will create your visibility, your brand, your reputation, and you will advance in your career.
On the other hand, like when you coach with young people to teach them to learn from the wise people, we shouldn't ignore the old people also. We should coach old people to communicate with young people, right? Nowadays, the grandchildren doesn't ask to their grandfathers or grandmothers about their experiences, and they are waiting there for their younger ones to come ask them questions to talk about their experiences. But there are YouTube, Google, they just ask everything to those places because Google doesn't criticize them, right?
Yeah.
Like asking this kind of question, you don't know that some people do this. Some old people are not very open to the young generations, and they make it personal and criticize their younger ones. And why would they want to go ask them if they act like this? And this is instilled to our DNAs, right? And we don't know what's going to happen if we ask some question to our elder ones, if they're going to react okay, if they're going to answer wholeheartedly, or are they criticizing us. So we have to coach the older people too, I think.
So we're going to open the silver line here.
Oh, so this is so nice chat with you. Is there anything you would like to add?
Well, firstly, thank you very much for this open conversation. I always learn from each podcast and I really appreciate it. And other than that, I just want to give a takeaway for everyone, which is take life as a dance. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like 2 steps ahead, 3 steps back. Sometimes it's like a rock and roll. Sometimes it's a slow, sometimes it's a foxtrot. We don't know. You do what you can. And if you're sure you did the best, that's all you can do. The rest, leave it to the universe or the supreme higher force, whatever you believe in. Yeah, but because that's what I make it open and inclusive, because that's what I really try to do. Because this is what we can do, and sometimes we need to go with the flow.
Yes, thank you so much for your time. It was wonderful to have you here. I hope to have you again soon. Thank you, Coach Magazine Global audience, for watching us. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for next 5 o'clock Tea Talks podcast or live webinars. Thank you all. See you.